Welcome to Daily Sourdough. Today we are making sourdough tortillas. We start with 3 cups of flour, and this is 1 cup of fresh ground wheat flour and 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Add to that 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Once those are combined, add 4 tablespoons of ghee or coconut oil. And the reason you use ghee is because ghee has a higher smoke point than butter and most oils, and so it won't burn as easily. This ghee I bought from Costco, but you can make your own ghee simply by boiling butter down and then removing the solids. Next, add a 1/2 cup of starter, and this can be fed or unfed starter. It won't change the way your tortillas turn out, but if you use fed starter, they will have less tang. And now to this, add just under a cup of warm water. So start with adding a 1/2 cup of water at a time, mix that up, and then see how much more you'll need. So you just want a nice soft dough. You don't want it too wet, you don't want it too dry. So we'll just start with a 1/2 cup and use warm water because that helps mix the ghee in. It kind of melts the ghee a little bit and helps to activate your wild yeast. And see, this is kind of dry, so I'm gonna add more water. Add another 1/4 cup, mix that in. I really like sourdough tortillas because they aren't as chewy as regular flour tortillas. I just do not like flour tortillas. I always opt for corn tortillas because the flour ones are just so chewy. But sourdough tortillas are a much softer texture and easier to chew, easier to digest, full of good bacteria, good wild yeast. So it's a great option. It's still a little dry, so I'm gonna add a little more water. I still haven't used quite a full cup yet. And now I'm gonna hand knead this in so they can get it mixed up really thoroughly. And the warmth of my hand activates the yeast and the bacteria, warms up the ghee, and I can tell with my hand if it's completely mixed. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the last bit of my water. It's gonna take a full cup. Different flours are going to absorb water differently. So if you use fresh ground wheat, it has more bran in it and it's going to absorb more water. However, if all 3 cups are all-purpose flour, you might not need the full cup of water. Now that all of the ingredients are mixed up, I'm going to knead it in my bowl for a few minutes just to make sure it's well mixed. And kneading it also helps the gluten to begin developing. Once your dough is thoroughly kneaded, take it out of the bowl, form it into a ball, and then wrap it tightly with plastic wrap. And this plastic wrap will keep it airtight and keep your dough really soft. And it's going to expand and really put pressure on this plastic wrap, which is fine, but it will keep your dough really soft. Now set your dough on the counter to rest for between 4 and 24 hours, and the longer it ferments, the healthier it will be for you and the easier it will be to digest. So I'm going to put this back in my bowl and let it rest until tomorrow afternoon. See you tomorrow. Well, it's day 2 and my tortilla dough has been resting, wrapped in plastic overnight. Now I'm ready to cook my tortillas. So divide your dough into 12 pieces and then roll them into balls. And I have this fun tortilla press that I'm going to use to press my tortillas flat, but a rolling pin will work just as well. Roll your tortillas as thin as you can, really, without making the edges too thin. Then fry them in a dry pan over high heat. They'll start to bubble up really quickly, and it will only take a couple of minutes on each side to cook them. That's all there is to it. And today I'm making steak tacos. I don't like to eat any other flour tortillas because I don't like the gummy, chewy texture of them. But these sourdough tortillas are so tasty. They're easy to eat and they're really easy to digest. Let's try them. They're so good. You're really gonna like this. You have the soft tortilla that has just a slight tang to it, and then the steak and the cilantro and the avocado, oh, it all fits so well together. So give them a thumbs up and then subscribe because I have more recipes coming up to show you how to use your sourdough daily.